So first up, we're in a forest. Boom. Darsa hears a plane, grabs her weapon, and bam! As soon as a guy steps off that plane, headshot. No hesitation. Meanwhile, across the world, ex-Marine Levi jolts awake from a nightmare and decides to chill out by hitting the beach. Next morning, Levi gets a text. Get to the Marine Corps base. There, he meets Agent Bartholomew, who knows all about his sniper skills, his clean record, and his lone wolf life. She offers him a job, classified stuff. Meanwhile, in Lithuania, Darsa visits her mom's grave with her dad. But it's bittersweet. Her dad drops a bombshell. He has terminal cancer, and if he's still alive by February 14th, he's gonna end it himself to be with his wife on Valentine's Day. Heavy. Back to Levi. In September, he wakes up on a plane, groggy from anesthesia. He asks where they are. The soldier? Not allowed to say. She takes all his stuff and tells him they're in a no-fly zone now. Time to jump. No pressure. Levi grabs his bag, parachutes down, and starts his long trek through rugged terrain. Eventually, he reaches the edge of a massive gorge. Here, he meets soldier JD, who's been posted there for a year and still has no clue where they are. JD gives Levi the grand tour. They're living in the West Tower, fully self-sustained. Across the gorge is the East Tower, but chatting with that side is strictly forbidden. The whole area is booby-trapped and walled off with cloakers to stay invisible to satellites. Levi's daily mission? Patrol the perimeter, reload the autoguns, inspect the fences and mines, and maintain the cloakers. Radio checks happen once a month, and if there's ever a real problem, hit the panic button. But JD warns him, if that happens, run. It triggers the stray dog protocol, and even JD doesn't know what that is. Turns out, this place is a Cold War relic. Different countries agreed to keep it secret, even from their presidents. Why? Because something bad is down there. Something called the Hollow Men. They're creepy, screeching monsters that once wiped out 3 whole horseback battalions in the 40s. Nobody came back. Since then, it's been all about containment. Soon, JD heads to the pickup point. But get this, he gets lifted by a rope into a chopper, says the password, and boom, gets shot in the head. A month later, Levi's stuck in a monotonous routine, walking, fixing, reporting. One day he sees movement at the East Tower, Darsa chopping wood. She spots him too, but doesn't react. During a stormy night, Levi wakes from another nightmare, breaks a glass and panics, thinking he's under attack. Turns out he just stepped on the glass. While bandaging his foot, he notices Darsa is awake and watching him. She slips away when he notices her. Another month passes, and it's Daughtry's birthday. Feeling lonely, she shoots her gun to get Levi's attention and flashes a sign. "What's your name?" Levi signals back that they're not supposed to talk. She responds with her name and that she'll do what she wants. It's her birthday. Levi smiles and sends his name too. They toast together from across the gorge. Then Darsa cranks up the music and dances, urging Levi to join. He claims he's a terrible dancer but a great sniper. She shoots his water bottle. Levi shoots hers back. She puts a bottle on her head for another round, until she spots movement. Levi checks. Monsters made of tree-like flesh are climbing up his side of the gorge. He shoots one. It hits a mine, exploding and taking others down. But more are coming. Levi and Darsa tag team with their machine guns, blasting monsters off the cliff. One reaches Darsa's balcony. She takes it out up close. But they're not done. Creatures now climb both walls. Levi and Darsa fight side by side, gunning down monsters and triggering mines. One blast sends shrapnel into Darsa's shoulder, but eventually, they wipe them all out. Next morning, Darsa patches herself up and tells Levi it was her best birthday ever. Levi goes to repair the damage. Then, a drone zips out of the gorge. Uh-oh, By December, they're bonding. Levi sets up a Christmas tree made of lights, signs it for Darsa. They build snowmen, play chess, make drum kits from pots. Then comes Valentine's Day. Darsa's crying over a photo. Levi, wanting to cheer her up, builds a device to shoot a rope across the gorge. It works, but he gets stuck midway. He pulls himself across and arrives at her tower with flowers. She jokes he stinks. He takes a shower, finds new clothes left by a past occupant. That night, over dinner, they talk about their trauma, share a dance. And yeah, it gets romantic. Next morning, Levi tries to cross back, but a monster sets off a mine and the blast severs the rope. He parachutes down. Darsa grabs weapons and a chute, jumps in too. She lands in a river, loses her gear, and nearly drowns. Levi, meanwhile, is unconscious in a tree. A monster disguised as a branch creeps toward him. He wakes up, fights back, but gets caught in a living, sticky trap. It's the creature's mouth. Darsa shows up just in time and saves him. They continue together, but soon get ambushed by hollow men on tree-like horses. Levi shoots one down. Darsa stabs the other. But her bag's gear is gone, so they can't climb back. They follow the river and find hundreds of skeletons, old soldiers. Eventually, they reach a ruined town overtaken by mutant plants. In a church filled with bones and the smell of cyanide, they realize the townspeople chose to die rather than live with the horror. Suddenly, giant spiders. Darsa gets attacked first. Levi joins in. They're surrounded. Just when they think it's over, more hollow men crash in. It's chaos. Grenades, bullets, hand-to-hand combat. They blow a hole in the wall and escape. They find a door in the wall and enter an overgrown facility, a military lab. Inside, they watch a film from 1946. A scientist explains, they were developing biochemical weapons, but an earthquake caused a leak. The toxin mutated everything, and long exposure changed the researchers too. A woman on screen even shows branches growing from her body. Because the gorge is sealed, the rest of the world was spared. But the experiments didn't stop. Levi finds a modern computer. The facility now belongs to Dark Lake, a shady private military group creating super soldiers. The towers, the guards, even the drone, they're all part of keeping it hidden. Levi also finds out the Stray Dog Protocol is a freaking nuclear bomb designed to wipe the area if containment fails. Levi and Darsa decide to leave. They toss a smoke grenade and sneak out. But then, a hollow man's whip grabs Darsa and drags her off. Levi follows and finds the bomb facility. Inside, the monster tortures Darsa, yanking a branch from her body. But Darsa's tough. She kicks him, frees herself, and fights back with whatever she can find: bones, fire, metal. A snake bursts from the monster's chest, but she decapitates it. She lights the hollow man on fire. As the hollow man yells in pain, Levi finally arrives and shoots him to death. After the soldiers reunite with a hug, Levi checks the hollow man and notices the name in the uniform, recognizing it as the first guard that worked in his tower. After getting the creature's sword, the duo starts making their way out and finds the place where the initial leak happened. There are mutated creatures everywhere stuck in the goo created by the toxin. Levi and Darsa begin crossing the bridge while being creeped out by the faces breathing in the goo. Darsa accidentally steps on a root, and when she pulls at the sticky substance, the bodies begin falling to try to capture her. Levi uses the sword to quickly cut all the roots and rescue her. Soon, bigger creatures are waking up and roaring at them. As Levi continues to open the way with the sword, a goo whip grabs his ankle and makes him fall. Darsa shoots a grenade behind them and causes a big explosion. The creatures catch on fire and the flames spread through the entire goo structure while the duo reaches the stairs to finally get out. Afterward, they search the town and find military jeeps in a garage. They do some maintenance on an engine and take off in one of the jeeps, driving for hours until they find the broken rope. Levi immediately ties the rope to the jeep while Darsa shoots at the hollow men who try to approach them. When she runs out of bullets, they just trade places. Once the jeep is ready, they begin ascending the wall. It goes well for a while, but eventually they discover the hollow men are climbing to follow them. They kick one off and Levi begins using the sword to kill the others. Darsa finds an axe in the toolbox and uses it to kill creatures too. While Levi pushes a monster against the wheels, Darsa has to hit one that lands on the front window to make it fall. Then, a hollow man jumps to push Levi, who manages to grab onto the jeep at the last second but is left hanging. He stabs the jeep's gas tank before climbing back, then he lights a flare and throws it at the creatures. When it combines with the dripping propane, it causes a huge explosion that burns all their enemies, but also makes the jeep explode. Levi breaks his leg when he hits the wall and Darsa has to help him up. Since they're closer to the top now, they decide to cut the rope and let the jeep fall on top of the remaining hollow men. Afterward, the duo climbs the rest of the way and returns to Darsa's tower. While taking care of their injuries, they agree to stay apart for 5 days as quarantine in case they're infected. They also want to run away together, so they make a plan to destroy the Gorge. They share a kiss, and Levi tells Darsa that he loves her before using a grappling gun that allows him to jump back to his own tower. The next day, they have to do the radio check-in. Instead of the usual employee, Levi's call is picked up by Bartholomew because she's learned that the computer in the lab was turned on. Since Levi denies going into the Gorge, Bartholomew concludes that the person in the other tower did, so Levi's new mission is to kill them. Levi pretends to accept the mission before the call ends. Then it's revealed that the lab computer had a camera, and Bartholomew knows both soldiers were down there, so she calls a commander to order him to get a team ready to visit the Gorge. The next morning, while the soldiers are getting some mines ready for their plan, Darsa writes, "I love you back," for Levi. At that moment, they see a helicopter coming, so they immediately start running through the forest. When the soldiers find the towers empty, they send out drones and a chase begins. The drones quickly open fire, so Levi and Darsa shoot back, bringing them all down one by one while getting a few injuries in the process. Once they reach a spot high enough, they get into their sniper positions and shoot the cloakers. Thanks to the mines they installed earlier, they create a chain reaction that starts destroying all the cloakers in the area. Since the Gorge is now exposed, the stray dog protocol activates. Bartholomew and her team rush to the helicopter to fly away while Levi and Darsa run as fast as they can. The nuclear bomb goes off and the enormous explosion brings down the helicopter, making it crash and killing everyone inside. Unfortunately, Levi is pushed by the explosion too, and he falls off the edge of a cliff into a river. Darsa manages to escape and hides in a cave to wait for Levi. After a month of no news from her boyfriend, Darsa decides to leave alone. Sometime later in France, Darsa is working as a waitress. One day, she's shocked to find Levi sitting at a table. He explains it took him a while to recover from his injuries before they reunite with a kiss. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe to Vision Movie Recap. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.